You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Screw your freedom. Zombie of the Juiced. Is that a new movie that's going to come out this year? I don't think so. But to me, it became a mental reality. Something I need to consider at the very least. I don't know what you're going to think. Some people could say, this is just satire. John is being funny. And I'm certainly not glamorizing or glorifying violence. None of that. No, no, no. Folks, this is a scenario that I thought about for me. You can do with it what you want. But have you considered? That's what I'm asking. Have you considered? Well, let's see what I'm thinking about, and then you can answer for yourself, folks. For years and years, we discussed neighbors gone bad, or those people down the street, or someone in that 10-mile radius that you live in have gone bad. And you got the potential of Mad Max, and we would ask the question, what would you do? Right? What would you do in that situation? Well, here we are. We are here now, folks. We're in SHTF. And so then we asked, hey, BLM Antifa, they've gone bad. They've gone Mad Max. Are they in your town? Are they near your neighborhood? Are they in your face? What would you do? Now, I think we've come one step further. And I really do enjoy wearing these limited edition Prepared Mind, fuck around and find out shirts. I've got two of them. I kept two for myself, this blue one and the maroon one. Anyways, let's consider something else, something that's developing right in front of us. Do we want to call them zombies of the juice? Or do we want to say that they're cerveza zombies, right? Either way, it has hit the fan. And either way, this appears to be happening. Now, let us suppose, shall we, for the purposes of this scenario, let us suppose that those who drank the Jim Jones juice continue to have weakening immune systems, requiring more Jim Juicinations, and their health declines regardless. Will they continue to blame unjuiced people for their failed, ineffective Kool-Aid addiction that they started? Will their failing health, if they don't outright fall over from heart attacks and strokes, will it leave them looking, acting, behaving, and thinking like zombies? Will these cerveza zombies blame us, you and me, turning their anger on us, you and me, jealously hating us for being smart enough and strong enough to resist the lies of those who are in positions of authority? Now let's look around. Will the violence of today's masked idiots, that's right, in our world today, there are people who are, one, acting out violently against those who aren't wearing a mask. They are proposing that they lock us up. And in fact, and we're going to cover this. I almost went into an early free-for-all Friday mode because I have so much news this morning. This first week of SHTF in 2022 is nasty, and it's getting nastier. But I was like, no, I've got to cover zombies of the juice. I've got to do it. I've got to do it. Folks, they're already violent. If you're not wearing your mask correctly, if you're not wearing one at all, if you're trying to eat food and your mask is not in the proper position, they'll attack you. They can. They're proving it. And if that's not enough, right? If that seems too dramatic, how about every single one of them that want us to die? Is that because they've taken the Jim Jones juice? Is that really what's happening? Is it eating away and rotting their minds? their decision-making process, their thought control, are their morality and decency, is it being strained and eaten away by the Jim Jones juice? Or is it just that they covet the freedom that you enjoy, that they're envious of your health, and that they're hateful because they made a mistake? So will this violence of the masked become the full-on purge killing of the unjuiced by the fully screwed up juicers, right? Now, just think about it. You may want to pause the video, and I'm sure that by the time this video is done, you will want to send, share, cut the address and share this with someone else. People you want to wake up and notice what is going on in our world. Why is it so different, and what can they do about it, right? Let me just continue. Will the medical experts, will the government and the mainstream media, will all of them, will they push this narrative to outright madness and mayhem, that it is the unjuiced that are the problem, that those who are the sheep, the lemmings, who have done everything that they've been demanded of, threatened with, coerced into, will they say it's not your fault and you have to blame the Johns, the preppers, the veterans, the normies, the unjuicinated, blame them and keep blaming them for the ineffectiveness of the Jim Jones juice to do what they said it would do? Will they admit that? Or will they stay with their story, their narrative, or will they admit that they failed, that they made a mistake? And I say to that, fat chance, because they're locking down people right now saying, right, things are so bad. And we predicted this. Things are so bad that we're now locking up the unjuiced in their homes. They can't go to work. They are now, folks, being in other countries, they're being labeled as non-essential. I think in World War II, the Jews were non-essential to both German Nazis and communists in Russia. There were many different ethnicities, folks, that were given their own Holocaust. The Soviets, the communists in Russia in the 1920s, in the 1930s, and into the 1940s murdered tens of millions of people, ethnicities that they didn't like. Latvians, Estonians, Georgians, Kazakhs, Jews, Poles. How many Czechs? How many millions of people have to be slaughtered? Because the political leadership justifies it and blames them. Remember, folks, the Jews in World War II were blamed for all the problems in Germany. It wasn't the Jews, folks. You know what it was? It was the Allied forces of World War I that punished financially the Germans, because the Germans were defeated in World War I, so they were blamed for all the problems and expenses of World War I and told they had to pay it all back. And that decimated the Germans, caused hyperinflation, destruction of their country, and they fought their way back. And then, folks, any problems that came along, they blamed the Jews. Why didn't they blame the English, the Americans, the French, the Spaniards? Why didn't they blame them? Well, they didn't blame them, folks. They blamed the Jews. And they went after them and they killed them. Let's fast forward again today. You got the mainstream media. You got the political class. You have the elite class, the experts, the uber wealthy. They're blaming, and they want to blame the unjuiced for all the problems out there, saying, you need to get your zombie juice. You need to get it now, folks. So will the medical experts, will the government, will the mainstream media admit they failed? Or will they keep pushing their narrative to outright madness and outright mayhem and outright Mad Max? So now, folks, if they did that, if they do that, if it's in our future, we come to you Me, us little preppers, patriots, veterans, and sportsmen. What will you do next if those with sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, feverish, zombie symptoms, what if they begin attacking us normies? Will you wait until they are at your door and attacking you? Will you stop them in the street or at the end of the block? Well, let's say half of your block will be infected with stupidity and cerveza madness and zombie mentality. They're already all around us, folks. Those who wouldn't be sick as fuck, but are 100% juice, right, will know that it's only a matter of time before they weaken, get ultra sick, and want to punish someone else for their screw up and turn their ire, their anger, and their vengeance upon you, your family. What will you do if it gets that bad? Will the juiced refuse to get juice boosters and try and recover? Or will they line up for even more, thinking that more is better? You know, because when something doesn't work, if you keep doing it, eventually it will. Will the juiced get more violent than they are now? Will they become ultra violent, especially if they know their lives are ending, that they're going to expire soon and want to take their vengeance? Or will they admit their mistakes, come to their senses, detox, and hope that their bodies don't fail them? I'm thinking that they're going to conclude that they are doomed and become agents of evil and attack those who haven't defiled their bodies with evil concoctions. What if 25% of the fully juiced become violent idiots, zombies, but 75% remain basically normal? How would we know who to trust? How would we know who to allow near us, our kids, our parents? Will zombies transition from normal to murderous in a minute? Or will we be able to see this transformation and take necessary precautions? Will Mad Max conditions come about from Jim Jones juice mandates and the sheep who have failed themselves by believing the great lie? At this point, folks, I say anything is possible. Be prepared. I had to get up early this morning. I had to run into the garage while it's quiet to get this video made and get it out to you ASAP, because it just occurred to me. This scenario is becoming more real. And I'm basing this on what I'm seeing as far as illness and death, what I'm seeing based on infection, and what is the juicination status of those who are being infected, hospitalized. I'm basing this concept on the words that people are saying out there, how much hatred and how they are willing death upon those who have not taken the Jim Jones juice, how they are blaming us for the failure of their medications. The outright zombie mentality. Now, let's see. I mean, this is not a stretch. In movies, zombies want to eat brains, the brains of the living. Folks, the living are thinking. The living have brains. Those with no brains, who are dead, zombies, they want to have brains. They want to eat brains. That's probably going to be their mentality. If I eat their brains, maybe I'll become normal, right? Because what if cerveza madness is chewing away, eating their brains? Their brains aren't functioning. They're becoming lower functioning. Intelligent people solve problems. Less intelligent people are prone to violence. Very stupid people only know a couple of things, right? The most ignorant, right, just survive. Animals just survive. Their thinking is, what can I eat next? What can I screw next? And can I run fast enough to get away? You start moving up the intelligence scale, right? You get to reasoning, thinking people who come up with solutions to solve problems. That is intelligence. When someone's brain is being chewed away by toxic chemicals, they start to lose that intelligence. They start to think in terms of violence, and that the things that they want, they need to go after aggressively. Instead of thinking and doing it for themselves, they'll go and take it from someone else. And if they think you have life, they'll take it from you. Voila. The unintelligent zombie. It sounds to me, by the very words of the people who are out there and what they're speaking, it sounds to me like that's what they are becoming. A bunch of hate-filled, violent psychopaths. I pray, folks, that it doesn't get worse. And I hope that you enjoyed this fictional presentation of a potential dystopian world. Wow. Chance favors the prepared mind. It is yours. Godspeed. God bless us all. God protect us all. Semper Fi.